Building Legacies, the power of authentic connection in a digital world. Welcome to a journey that will challenge your perspective, stir your emotions, and ignite your passion for creating lasting impact. Today, we're delving into the profound insights gleaned from an extraordinary conversation with Shaquita Love, the visionary founder of Logo Legacy Promotions. Shaquita isn't just an entrepreneur. She's a revolutionary thinker who's reshaping how we approach branding, promotion, and the very essence of leaving a mark on this world. Shaquita Love's work transcends the boundaries of traditional marketing. She's not just creating events or designing logos, she's architecting legacies. Her approach is a beacon of hope in our often superficial, instant gratification driven world. It challenges us to look beyond the immediate, to consider the ripple effects of our actions, and to ask ourselves, what imprint will we leave on the hearts and minds of generations to come? As I sat across from Shaquita, absorbing her wisdom and passion, I was struck by the depth of her vision. Her eyes sparkled with a fierce determination to make a difference, not just in the business world, but in the very fabric of human connection. It was in that moment that I realized what we're about to explore today isn't just about business strategy or marketing techniques. It's about rediscovering our humanity in a digital age, about rekindling the power of authentic connection in a world that often feels disconnected. Let's pause for a moment and reflect. In our hyper-connected world, how often do we truly connect? How often do we share our authentic selves, our true stories, our vulnerabilities? In the cacophony of social media posts, email notifications, and instant messages, have we lost the art of genuine human interaction? Shaquita's first key insight cuts to the heart of this issue: the power of authentic storytelling. In a world drowning in data and marketing messages, authenticity stands out like a beacon in the night. It's not about crafting the perfect pitch or following a formula. It's about having the courage to be real, to be vulnerable, to share your truth with the world. Let me share a story that illustrates this powerfully. Shaquita worked with a small nonprofit organization that was struggling to attract donors and volunteers. They had all the facts and figures, all the data to show their impact, but something was missing. Their message wasn't resonating. It wasn't until they dug deep into their why, the reason they do what they do, that everything changed. They uncovered stories of lives transformed, of hope restored, of communities rebuilt. One particular story stood out: a single mother who, through their program, not only found stable employment, but also regained custody of her children and became a mentor to other struggling parents. When they started sharing these real, raw, emotional stories, the response was overwhelming. Donations increased tenfold. Volunteers flooded in. Their impact grew exponentially. This story illustrates a profound truth. People don't connect with data, they connect with stories. They connect with emotion, with authenticity, with vulnerability. In our quest for professionalism and polish, we often lose sight of the raw human elements that truly resonate with others. Ask yourself, when was the last time a spreadsheet made you cry? When was the last time a PowerPoint presentation inspired you to change your life? Now, think about a time when someone shared a personal story that touched your heart, that made you see the world differently. That's the power of authentic storytelling. But it's not just about telling stories, it's about creating experiences. This brings us to Shaquita's second key insight: the importance of creating immersive experiences, not just events or campaigns. Imagine you're at a product launch. Typically, what do you expect? A presentation, maybe a demo, some networking over cocktails. Now, imagine instead that you're taking on a journey. As you enter the venue, you're transported into a world that embodies the product's benefits. You're not just told about the product, you experience it with all your senses. This is exactly what Shaquita and her team did for a tech company's product launch. Instead of the typical presentation, they created an interactive journey. Attendees walked through different zones, each designed to immerse them in a different aspect of the product's benefits. They could touch, feel, see, and even smell how the product would improve their lives. The result? Not only did the product receive rave reviews, but the launch event itself became a talking point. Attendees couldn't stop sharing their experience on social media. The buzz generated far exceeded expectations, creating a ripple effect that continued long after the event ended. This approach speaks to a deeper human need. We're not just logical beings processing information. We're emotional creatures seeking connection, meaning, and memorable moments. By focusing on creating experiences that engage us on multiple levels, we can create deeper, more lasting connections. Think about your own life. What are the moments that stand out? The experiences that shaped you? Chances are they're not PowerPoint presentations or email campaigns. They're moments of genuine connection, of immersive experiences that touched your heart and changed your perspective. Now, let's dive into Shaquita's third and perhaps most powerful insight, the concept of legacy thinking. This is about shifting our perspective from short term gains to long term impact. It's about asking ourselves, what mark do I want to leave on the world? How do I want to be remembered? Shaquita shared a powerful example of this legacy thinking in action. They worked with a family owned business that had been operating for 3 generations. The current leadership was focused on immediate profits and market share, losing sight of the values and vision that had guided the company for decades. Through a series of workshops and deep dive sessions, Logo Legacy Promotions helped them reconnect with their roots, their core purpose, and their long term vision. They uncovered stories of their grandfather who started the business during the Great Depression, not just to make money, but to provide jobs and hope to his community. They rediscovered letters from customers over the decades expressing how the company's products had improved their lives. The result was transformative. Not only did they see an increase in employee engagement and customer loyalty, but they also found a renewed sense of purpose and direction. They started making decisions not just based on quarterly reports, but on how they aligned with their legacy. They began investing in sustainable practices, not because it was trendy, but because they wanted to ensure the company would still be benefiting the community in another 3 generations. They implemented employee growth programs, seeing their team not just as workers, but as the future custodians of their legacy. I mean, they started a community development initiative, reconnecting with their founder's original vision of uplifting the entire community. In essence, they shifted from being a company focused on making money to one focused on making a difference. And here's the beautiful irony: by focusing on their legacy rather than short term profits, they actually became more profitable. Their authenticity resonated with customers. Their commitment to their employees resulted in higher productivity and innovation. Their community initiatives created a loyal customer base that chose them over cheaper competitors. This story holds a powerful lesson for all of us. Whether we're running a business, building a career, or simply living our day to day lives, we have the opportunity. And I would argue the responsibility to think about our legacy. What impact are we having? What values are we embodying? What stories will be told about us when we're gone? As I reflected on these insights from my conversation with Shaquita, I realized that they all point to a fundamental truth: the power of human connection. In our increasingly digital, automated world, it's easy to lose sight of the human element. We can get caught up in metrics and algorithms, in likes and shares, in data and analytics. But at the end of the day, what truly matters, what truly lasts, are the connections we make in the lives we touch, the difference we make in the world around us. This realization led me to a moment of vulnerability, a moment of truth that I want to share with you. For a long time, I've been focused on success as defined by traditional metrics: income, titles, accolades. I've chased after these external markers of achievement, often at the expense of deeper, more meaningful pursuits. But listening to Shaquita, hearing her passion for creating lasting legacies, I found myself questioning my own priorities. What if instead of asking, how can I be more successful, we asked, how can I be more impactful? What if instead of focusing on what we can get, we focused on what we can give? What if we measured our worth not by our bank accounts or our job titles, but by the lives we've touched, the positive change we've created? These questions aren't comfortable. They challenge us to look beyond the surface, to dig deep into our values and our purpose. They ask us to be vulnerable, to admit that maybe we don't have all the answers, that maybe we've been chasing the wrong things. But it's in this vulnerability, in this willingness to question and to grow, that we find our true strength. Let's pause for a moment and really let this sink in. Think about your life, your work, your relationships. Are you building a legacy you're proud of? Are you creating experiences that will be remembered long after you're gone? Are you telling your authentic story, or are you hiding behind a polished facade. The beauty of this approach is that it's not about grand gestures or world changing inventions. It's about the small, everyday choices we make. It's about choosing authenticity over pretense, connection over transaction, impact over impression. Imagine a world where every interaction, every business decision, every personal choice was made with legacy in mind. Imagine the ripple effects of millions of people choosing to prioritize authentic connection and long term impact over short term gains. The potential for positive change is staggering. But let's bring this back to a personal level. How can you start building your legacy today? Here are 3 actionable steps you can take. First, start telling your authentic story, not the polished social media ready version, but your real story with all its messiness and imperfections. Share your struggles along with your triumphs. Be vulnerable. You'll be amazed at how this authenticity resonates with others and creates deeper, more meaningful connections. Second, focus on creating experiences, not just transactions. Whether you're in business or not, think about how you can engage people on a deeper level. How can you create moments that will be remembered? How can you touch hearts, not just minds? Third, adopt a legacy mindset. Before making decisions, big or small, ask yourself, how will this contribute to my legacy? How will this impact others in the long term? This simple shift in perspective can lead to profound changes in your life and work. As we come to the end of this talk, I want to leave you with a challenge. Over the next week, I want you to think deeply about your legacy. What mark do you want to leave on the world? How do you want to be remembered? Then choose one action, just one, that you can take to start building that legacy. Maybe it's reaching out to make a genuine connection with someone in your network. Maybe it's revisiting your company's mission statement to ensure it reflects your true values. Maybe it's simply taking the time to tell your story, your real story, to someone who needs to hear it. Whatever action you choose, approach it with authenticity, with vulnerability, and with a focus on creating lasting impact. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being real, being human, and being committed to making a difference. As you go about your day, keep these insights in mind. Look for opportunities to tell your authentic story. Seek to create experiences, not just events or transactions. And always think about the legacy you're building with each choice you make. The world doesn't need more superficial connections. It doesn't need more polished facades or carefully curated online personas. What the world desperately needs is more authenticity, more genuine human connection, more people willing to be real and vulnerable and committed to making a lasting positive impact. You have the power to create a legacy that will outlive you, to make an impact that will ripple out far beyond your immediate circle. It starts with one step, one decision to prioritize authenticity, connection, and long term impact. So I ask you, what will your legacy be? How will you use the power of authentic connection to make your mark on the world? The choice is yours. The time is now. Let's build legacies that will inspire generations to come. Thank you.